All right, our friend here, Subliminal, who's super nice to us, actually raids the channel all the time. Friend of the channel. Gonna check out this particular video entitled "My Thoughts on the Galaxy Debacle." Now, anybody you need to listen to, Subliminal knows what the fuck's up, man. Some of the best fits. Guy responsible for a lot of technical side. If you're flying, if you're PvPer, PvEer, you want a dude that knows how to fly, knows what's up. Sub is the dude. Let's check out what he has to say.
What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Subliminal here, and today I have a completely, totally different video for you guys. First off, I think you guys might notice that typically the content that I make for Star Citizen revolves around what we could do in the game, 100%, or maybe sometimes things that may be coming in the very near future. I don't like to do the theory crafting. I don't like to participate in any of the gossip. I'm not going to make a video every time CI.
That deserves this. That deserves this, man.
Yes, you're not gonna hate me. Yes.
We're a channel that has a community that size what I watch, and so like our community funnels me into these videos that are like these clickbait drama fests, man. So, you know, yes, but like I love people that are just focusing on the gameplay, that are focusing on the things that matter, that aren't getting involved in like the newest thing to get the torches and the pitchforks raised. And you know what I'm saying? Like this is very refreshing. And one of the reasons why I love Sub. Yes, exactly, Jamma. Jamma, me and you are on the same page with Subliminal. This is one of the reasons why I love content creators like this. They're playing the game. They're not involved in the drama. They're just playing it like every other person's fucking playing it. And they're going to tell you how to play it better. Like Sub does great content in that regard.
IG does something that I don't agree with, but today I feel so strongly about this that I want to get this off my chest. Again, this is not going to be a normal thing for the channel. I don't want to be involved in drama. I think that that's a really bad negative decline on content to focus on everything that's bad. You just become that guy,
called Star
right?
Citizen,
I'm not going to be that guy, but I need to get.
That is so, oh my God, that is such high level quality. That is fucking integrity, man. I love that.
Get this off my chest is something that I want to say to the community. So if you want to hear it, here goes. We'll just get right into it. As some of you guys know, there is an issue going on right now with the way CIG has handled the Galaxy's base building module. What I'm going to do here before I actually start giving my opinions, I want to state and show you the empirical facts of everything that has transpired from this moment when Todd Pappy is about to come on stage and speak until John Cruz's last message. Okay, I want to play for you guys this clip within context, because you might be getting linked to this video and you're missing a major part of the context and intent for what they're about to show us here.
Sure, but we'll get into that later once we're really building it. So from here, you've got the tools. So this is what we would consider a surveyor. With this, we want to actually cater to everybody's playstyle, whether you're solo or in an org.
This is the concept of the vehicle that we saw during this year's CitizenCon. Okay, right? It's evolved now, looks a lot different than that. Remember all of this when we go through this and think about what the intent is.
With this, you got different buildings that you can produce, from small, medium to large to XL or XL. So with the surveyor tool, you can only build the small buildings. With a vehicle, you can build small and medium-sized buildings. With the Galaxy, you can build small to large structures.
Just want to point out the crowd's reaction thus far.
And then obviously with the Pioneer,
literally you could see part of the Pioneer in the shot and the crowd was silent. And when this appeared, they started to uproar. Let's just go back here and show what we have here. RSI Galaxy supports the ability to build small to large structures.
See, you can build small to large structures. And then obviously with the Pioneer,
written there on the screen,
Pioneer can do it all. And it still works as a mobile base. And we'll talk about some of the more expanded features that we're adding to it in later on.
All right, That's pretty much it with what is important about this part. But here's the part that people are missing when we're trying to understand intent.
And then the big one. We start development Q1. So
this video aired during CitizenCon 2953. That's last year's CitizenCon. They didn't start development on base building until the beginning of this year. The Galaxy then goes on sale during IAE of that year. And if you scroll through here on the Pledge Store, you will see what modules will become available. You have a cargo module, medbay, refinery, and you have others. Manufacturing and other modules are coming at a later date. Understand that there's been a month's time between when Todd Pappy said that on stage to right now. I also need to bring this up. I think that this is important, again, for understanding intent. Todd Pappy no longer works for CIG. That's not any sort of an excuse. It's just something that people need to understand. Todd Pappy no longer works at CIG. He left the company. Okay.
Yeah. They're like people set fire to everything, man, because it gets the views. Like people get angry about shit when they don't even need to get angry. Like I'm in agreement with them. Like it's not anything that's going to be scrapped. It's on route to be planned in. They're not close to having this anywhere near being implemented yet. And the Galaxy will eventually be able to manufacture and build. This whole thing, this narrative being pushed out there that it won't be, is simply for clicks and manipulation and get the views and the monetization. I mean, it's people just right now, they're looking so microscopically. They're not zooming back and just looking at the big macro of everything. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy to me.
Okay. I have no idea if that has anything to do with what has transpired thus far. But I think it's very important information to understand intent. Not an excuse or anything like that, intent. So as we can see here, there is nothing here on this page that says that if you buy this ship, you're going to get base building. For me, as someone who saw that broadcast, and to be honest, I wanted to buy the Galaxy. When I saw it, I was like, wow, it's a modular ship. This seems pretty cool. The only reason why I didn't pick it up is I couldn't afford it. I would have bought it. It seems cool. Whether or not it has base building or not, I don't care. I just think
I personally don't know why I wouldn't. I don't know why I wouldn't.
It's cool to have something modular, and other stuff could be coming in the future.
And you can always meld it. Like if you're like, what is the big fucking thing? Like you can meld it if you're not happy with it or you have any questions about it. You could always meld it and get something fucking else for it. Like I think
that's a dope idea drama for a ship. That's why I think most people bought the ship. Anyway, it doesn't say that here. Now we're moving here on to present day, and I'm gonna briefly go over what John Crew said in his statement on Spectrum that put the community into a massive uproar, right? Again, I'm just stating empirical facts here. I'm not giving any sort of opinion. We'd plan to talk more about this at IAE. That's generally where we talk about this stuff, but a lot of people, basically, he comes out and says they normally talk about this stuff during IAE and that there are currently no plans to have a base building module for the Galaxy, comma, that doesn't mean it will never be.
Which I think it will. Okay, I think you actually will be able to base build with this. This is fucking information to me. But do I get upset? Like, am I getting fucking like, oh, you can always melt the ship you got for something else if you don't like it. Like, you know, like that's the thing, I guess, is this fucking manufactured drama shit. It is crazy to me, man.
But there is nothing concepted, planned, or on the production schedule. The Starliner BLD will ship with the base building of these large structures.
It will have base building, though. The Galaxy will have base building. I would put my money on the Galaxy having base building.
The only confirmed module, in addition to the ones on the Pledge Store, is the manufacturing module.
How many times have ships changed? How many times have like these concepts on these ships changed until it hits a gold standard? Fucking numerous times. How many people melted because things have changed on ships numerous times. Just ask Execute, man, with info runners. He has a large crowd. I understand why people are upset. Like, I understand because you got a lot of people, real money attached to this. It's a pain in the ass if the ship that they put the money down for changes over the time. Like, I totally understand that angle. But like, you are in a project where everything is fluid and is changing. It's in an alpha state. Things that are in this game can be taken out, put back in, changed, redone. Same thing goes for the ships, man. Everybody should go in knowing this.
The general rule of thumb for all things vehicle is unless it is on the pledge store or available in game, treat it as speculative. Okay, he goes on to explain that the reason why the Galaxy is getting skipped is because they want to put the people from the Polaris onto the Perseus because they share assets together. He then came out with another comment. Just trying to add some extra information for the phrasing. Emphasis on no current plans. This does not exclude that there were plans in the past, as referred to in 2953, or that there could be again in the future. This is simply nothing happening right now.
Translation, we are going to do whatever the fuck that we want to do. And generally what we want to do is please our customers, and we will give you what you want so that revenue can continue coming in record amounts.
Yes, sir. Can I get an amen? Yes.
I mean, like, where are the adults in the room here? Read in between the lines. It was planned in the past. Oops, I said this. This is what it right now. This is currently where we're at with it. Also, it doesn't mean that we're not going to change it back to the way it originally was scripted. Perhaps John was at the point of his life where he's been bombarded with work and just like on one of these ships was just, you know, this is the thing. It is a fluid project. Like, if people are that upset about it, just fucking melt. Go for something else. If you got onto the Galaxy for the base building and it's a question for you, and by what I'm saying, what I believe is that it will. It most definitely will. In my mind, it's going to stick around. They're going to put it back in if there's something that they actually haven't put any work to. But you got to realize base building's pretty fucking new on the roadmap and the work that they've already done and the work that they've got to go and they got to push forward on base building. And that in itself, people should be just happy about that. But no, you're going to light torches and you're going to get pitchforks about the Galaxy. And I'm not saying people shouldn't bitch about this. They spent plenty of money for this. Speak up, say what it is that is on your mind. That's how those fucking changes get made. But like, to think that they're not going to give the customers what they want is naive. They have to give the customers what they want so they continue to please the masses and bring in the revenue. That's what they're going to do.
The way base building works with drones now does not lend itself to the Galaxy's module layout due to their size and navigation requirement. So what he's saying here is that due to the Galaxy's size and layout, it doesn't fit the drone's navigation requirements and size requirements. What he means is that now that they've started development on base building, the size of the drones needs to be taken into account, and their navigation route from the ship to whatever you're building has changed. That's how development works. They plan and things change. I'm sorry, I'm getting into my own opinions and not saying the purifier. So the confusion comment was in regards to discussion on why they didn't talk about it during Citizen Ghana. You just wanted to explain why they didn't talk about it, okay? And then here's a picture of the BLD and how the drone feature is going to function with this. So it has some sort of an arm that comes out. I guess it puts the drone in there. I was reading chat and talking to my community when I was watching this live. I didn't really see.
This is what I like. This is an adult way to look at things. And this is why I love Jamma and glad that he suggested this video and brought this to my attention. I'm not a Galaxy owner. In fact, a lot of the things I saw about the Galaxy when it first came out was the refinement module, like to be able to refine endlessly, getting quantum, being able to get fuel is great. Like, that is such a cool concept. It's essentially renewable, like fucking here's more fuel, here's more fuel. Like, that's wonderful. Like, that's initially why I was like into the Galaxy, right? I also like that it had modularity. Like, more ships are going to have modularity going forward. So that was cool. The base building was like a bonus and a side thing, but I wasn't really even tapped into what was going on with the Galaxy because I'm not a Galaxy owner. But JAMA is, and JAMA says I bought the ship with the multiple mods. It would be cool if SIG could add the base building module. If it doesn't happen, I'll find another ship like the Starlancer that does. I really don't understand the issue, says JAMA, and that is what a rational adult's logic leads to. Because JAMA understands that this project is fluid and things are always changing and doesn't get wrapped up in the minutia and the microscopic bullshit and the clickbait where like, oh no, ah. There is so many moving parts here. There are so many people involved. And if there's one thing I could say that's a constructive criticism with Cloud Imperium, which there's many actually, but the one thing I would say is the organization within the company and the communication with the teams. And if you want to get hard on Star Citizen, that's where to look at, is the structure of these dev teams and the way that they communicate to one another. That is what needs improvement. And that's what's frustrating the fan base. This is just a symptom of the problem. And what people want to see is more transparency on how those issues are getting fixed. Completely valid and rational, by the way. But I can't help as a gamer and a fan to kind of question like why people are getting so like upset on a fucking crazy, you know, there's so many people that call like fans of Star Citizen cult members and cultists. I think there's like a troll cult. I think there's like this cult of like naysayers that all they want to do is come in and shit on shit just to shit on shit. And like, I want that to back off a little bit and people to realize the macro of this and what they're trying to do and that there's nobody else doing this. God, I sound like a broken record sometimes.
See everything, but this is the first image that popped into in my head when I read that second thing. I was like, okay, I get it. Like there needs to be some sort of a side access so that this arm can take the drone in and out and so that the drone can do its pathing. Cool. So that is what he's talking about there. And I don't think people are mad that the Galaxy isn't going to get the drone base building. I understand why you guys are mad. We'll get there. Now, is down. Hey, everyone. I realize my previous comments may have given the wrong impression and I spoke too soon on the topic. I've since regrouped with the larger team to ensure that we are fully aligned on the Galaxy's future. To clarify, while there's no base building module currently in active development for the Galaxy, we are fully committed to enabling a large base building drone module for it down the line. The Galaxy won't be the first ship for base building large scale structures when base building launches, but it will come soon, and its potential for the role is very intact.
I'm having issues with Schnozzy.
My earlier comment about when things are speculative are incorrect.
Yes. And Mad Style is 100% correct in him being upset over this. This is what people have a rational reason to be upset with. Mad Style is saying, I'm upset over that. This is more a planning issue. Like devs are not talking to each other about parts of the game and mechanics and them fitting in ships. Yes. Yes. Valid concern.
I'm going to tell you why my heart...
And you know how that really eventually gets fixed? This is interesting. This feeds into everything I've been talking about. How does that get fixed? Like what Mad Style and others are mad about the communication issues and the planning issues and the devs not really talking to each other and communicating. You know how that all gets fixed? People stop spending money. They're not doing anything about it right now. Do you want to know why they're not doing anything about it right now? First, their insane focus on Squadron 42, but mostly their revenues aren't failing. Their revenues are fine. Once the revenues dip, ooh, now we got a different story, right? Think about it. When do things generally change? When they're flush with cash, they keep getting fucking revenues that beat each prior year? Or do they start doing things a little differently when the shit hits the fan and the revenues go down? See, this is what a lot of Star Citizen content creators do not get into. They don't get into the financials. They don't get into the business. They don't even understand how it goes. things don't generally change, and communication teams generally don't get better unless shit starts hitting the fan. And then Chris or somebody in a fucking director role comes in and starts smacking some heads together and say, let's get this better. Let's figure out a way to make this better, because the revenues aren't hitting the way that they used to. Now, a well-oiled machine and a great CEO is going to do it ahead of time, right? So they keep being a winner. We'll see.
Just dropped when he said that. I'm going to tell you why I think that comment that he just made there is hurtful to the development of this game. Okay. As you can see here, you guys have been around for as long as me, some of you longer, some of you not as long. John Crew. This isn't John Crew. That's not what John Crew. That's not who John Crew is. John Crew gives you everything straightforward. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. He just tells you straight up. And I respect that about him. And he's one of my favorite developers, right? Because he comes out here, he communicates with us. Again, I'm sorry I'm getting into my opinions. Anyway, so they're now backpedaling and going back and making sure that the Galaxy owners get their base building. That's the most important.
And it's as simple as that. It's a misstep on Crew's part. Crew mans up, steps up, says, hey, I fucking don't know what I'm talking about here. And he steps up and he says, I was incorrect. You're going to get your base building. There you go. I mean, like...
Yes, you're not going to eat me.
So I went through the whole process. I was not aware of most of this information, except for the fact that I knew that the Galaxy Builder was modular. The base building, I said, hey, they're going to have it to make customers happy. And yeah, there you go. Customers happy. Faster than I anticipated, all in one video.
Yes, you're not going to eat me.
All in one video, man. You see what I thought I was going to wait years. Shit happened right off the bat. John Crew popped up on that shit, fixed it. There's base building now. I'm going along this journey with you right now. I'm just trying to tell you how to be a rational adult. You understand?
Important thing. So before I get into my opinions, because there's going to be people that are automatically that have stopped watching this and they're now...
Absolutely. Aether, you are so fucking on point, and so is Sub. If this is what Sub is saying, Aether's saying that Sub points out that, and it's a valid one, that all this screaming and pearl clutching is just going to lead them to communicating with us less. The fact that they're still transparent, the fact that they're still doing 2 live shows a fucking week, the fact that they're this talkative with their community should show you how much they fucking care about this game. All the hate and all the fucking clickbait and all that bullshit, and they're still fucking doing this. That should tell you how serious they are right there. That they not only care about the game, but they actually care about the community. Absolutely, Aether. Absolutely.
In the comments below are going to call me a white knight.
With this white knight shit. Man. These are just a bunch of fucking kiddos who don't even have pubic hair. They're fucking thinking that they're game developers, every single one of them, and their mom's yelling at them in the basement to get some shit done and have a real life. Like Scarecrow 216 that brought up the whole fucking leak thing. with the goddamn, the employees are mad because the game devs actually have to go in and crunch extra hours to get something done for CitizenCon, which is the biggest event out of the year. Oh no, wham, like fucking game devs have never done that before. The real problem is the toxicity, the fucking communities that are created out of hate. And just to hate, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And then they call people they call Subliminal a white knight. Are you fucking kidding? Sub is a dude who is a gamer, who is playing the fucking game, man, which is more to say than a lot of these motherfuckers. A lot of these Star Citizen content creators don't even play the fucking game, for Christ's sakes. And they're calling Sub a fucking white knight? Are you kidding me? He's a hardcore gamer, man.
To prove to you guys that I am not a white knight and somebody...
He doesn't even need to do that. Anybody that knows Subliminal knows he's not a fucking white knight.
Who's just riding CIG. This is a tweet that I put out back in 2022 when there was this whole debacle about how they changed the way that buybacks were going to work. And basically, I lost a buyback because they just decided that it wasn't going to work that way. I couldn't just keep that buyback saved and implement it. I wound up losing it. So I wound up.
Yeah, that's bullshit too. Like the extreme points of view of these citizens, man, or whatever, this fucking internet culture that's become toxic. You got extremes on both sides that are like ridiculous. Like Backspace says, well, I've been told I should be dragged out back and executed for criticizing the current development. I love that. I want people to disagree with my opinions. I endorse it. I love having everybody's different opinions here and being able to get along with anybody. And if I disagree, being able to have them in our community and have that voice and that open kind of mindedness. I love that here. I love that here, and that everybody respects each other's opinions no matter what, I get called a white knight all the fucking time. I've been in this as long or longer than fucking Sub. When I got into this, it was me, Tactical Advance, Youngblood, STO Youngblood, and that was it. I think we were the first three to cover Star Citizen. Tactical Advance, Youngblood, and myself. We were the first three. We were the first three to Star Citizen. I remember it because it was a wide open field and I just stumbled into the project. Board Gamer came after me, Greg. Board Gamer actually came right after me. He was like fourth or fifth to the, and that was Noobifier. It was Board Gamer. That was Noobifier. I think Subliminal was about the same time as Noobifier, and more people started coming in covering Star Citizen. But like the original three were me, Tactical Advance, and STL Youngblood, and then Board Gamer came to the mix, and then Noobifier came to the mix. And those were like the originals. Those are the OG of Star Citizen content creators. And then Subliminal Mac, yep. Gray-headed Gamer, he was one of them. I don't know what happened to Gray-headed Gamer. Was Geek Domo was OG? Was he Stunner? Yeah. But Sub was an OG too. Sub wasn't shortly after like Noobifier, I think, and Sub's been in this for a very long time. Calling these guys that have been around for as long white knights, dudes. It's so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful for the people that are passionate and have covered this game for like over a decade. You call anybody a fucking white knight that has been an OG over 10 plus years, dude? Like, what the fuck, man?
One of my viewers gave me a $10 CCU and I wound up getting my Banu Merchantman, but they radically changed the way the buybacks works without warning us at all. In an instant, it was done. And there's no going back. Reducing the buyback values in Star Citizen without a warning was a tone-deaf move for Robert Space Industries. I'm very disappointed that you would decide to do this after the roadmap debacle. This has been so long, I don't even remember exactly what that debacle was. I am voting with my wallet and I am canceling my subscription. I canceled my subscription. Hold on, but wait, there's more, because that's just one guy's subscription. Unfortunately, this means that I am not able to give away any more daily giveaways during my Twitch live streams after my sub lapses. Monthly giveaways will still happen whenever CIG gifts me ships for this purpose. However, I will no longer purchase them myself. I will also refrain from investing any new money into the project for ships unless I absolutely have to for content creation. I absolutely love the game that you are creating. Keep doing it. I will continue to play for as long as it's fun. However, I am no longer backing the project. I made this decision back in 2022, and the amount of money that I've spent since then has been minuscule, right? And I said this publicly, telling you guys exactly what I was doing. I used to give away items from the pledge store every 10 subs that I'd get. So as you can see right now.
And that's a smart man. That's exactly what I'm telling people. If you're upset with it, quit spending the money on it. And maybe the changes that you want, you'll start to see it. And tell everybody else if you believe that. I'm cool with the progress. I'm cool with where they're at. I know the business is healthy. Everything I see just shows me that they're the only ones doing what they're trying to do in this field, which is create this server mesh tech that's going to revolutionize. If they do it, will revolutionize gaming forever and be worth billions. They're the only ones. They're the only ones creating an everything game. So I continue to support them. And, you know, if you don't want to support them because you're upset about it, it's very valid. Just stop spending money. Just stop spending money. Revenue's still like crazy healthy.
Now here down on the screen on Twitch, I have 300 subs. That would be $35 items from the pledge store that I would buy and then give to you guys for, you know, a thanks for supporting the channel, right? No more. It's harmful to the engagement of my Twitch stream, right? It was beneficial. It was something I enjoyed doing for you guys, and I'm not doing it anymore. I may come back with it in the future. I've since calmed down on this issue. It's been 2 or 3 years now. Nothing is going to change.
Peace out, Dynus.
And I think that this is one of...
Dynus is getting his first tattoo. What is going on up in here, Dynus? What? What? Go, Dynus, go, go. Go, Dynus, go, go. Dynus, what are you getting, dude? What are you getting, man? What are you getting for your tat? Tell us you're getting something cool for your tat. I'm wondering what Dynus is going to do.
This is something here that is very harmful for the game, making decisions like this. This is fucked up. Now I want to give my opinions on everything that has happened just far, and I just want you guys to know where I am and how my goal
cool, Dynus,
when I speak is to give my opinions on how I feel, and I don't really give a care about anybody's feelings.
Good. Rational adult. This is another reason I love Sub. I'm a fan, man. I got to tell you, dude, this dude's passed on some really good information in my time that I've used, man. Great tutorials. This dude knows what the fuck he's talking about. This guy makes great quality content. Hell yeah, Dynus. Thank you for your support and your love. Thank you for that sub gift, bro.
Next time, it's gonna be glass.
Still love that alert. That is such a classic alert. Good luck, brother.
I just don't. So I'm going to be open with this because I'm tired. I'm tired of what this community is becoming.
Yes.
And I'm just tired of it. So I'm just going to tell it how it is. Okay.
It's because the most popular Star Citizen content creators are making their money off of fucking just hater bait and clickbait 24/7. That's all they do. They just microscopically go in and attack it without reminding people about the macro and the fact that they're the only company trying to do this. It's not profitable for them to tell people that it's okay and everything's fine. And you know what I mean? Like, it's not profitable for these Star Citizen content creators to tell you that the business model is fine and it'll change if people stop spending the money. Then that's when you'll start seeing some changes. So stop spending money. You know, they don't walk people through the whole fucking process of it. They just focus on little shit like this galaxy, blow it the fuck up, get plenty of fucking money from people, manipulate them, fucking get the mind share and the monetize their eyeballs, and that's their living. That's what they're doing. That is their living. People like Sub and I, man, we're just sitting here watching this crazy madness, man. We're just watching this crazy madness as everybody clicks. Everybody clicks for the next fire, man. It's toxic.
Okay, please understand what I'm gonna say from
same
here on
DY,
out
same here,
is
dude.
For people who are calling CIG liars or in any way, shape, or form that anyone at CIG has done anything malicious in intent. That is who I am speaking to from now on. My opinion is they didn't handle that correctly. Okay. I think most of you guys have the opinion of they really fucked up on this one. I respect that opinion. I don't agree with it 100%, but I respect that opinion. We're good. We're good. You're not a problem. I love you. We're fine. I agree to disagree. I'm just not 100% on it. Here's for everyone who's calling them liars and again, anything malicious. Let's pull up the definition of lying. The definition of lie is an intentional false statement. If this is your opinion, right? I want you to tell me in the comments below specifically where anyone, Todd Pappy, John Crew, anyone.
But let's do a better definition here. Let's do a better definition. Let's look up malice here. Shall we look up what malice means?
Malice.
Malice. The intention or desire to do evil, ill will, I think that's the word that needs to be typed up. Fuck, man.
One intentionally gave you a false statement. We'll see down in the comments below. If we go back through here and look at this, I want you to think about intent, because what you're doing is you're calling someone a liar. That is disrespectful. That is a disrespectful thing. You don't just call someone a liar off of a whim. You don't.
Well, of course they can't, because they make money off of that. Why would they ever want to stop? Because that's what they make money off of. Like, right? They're incentivized to call people liars, even if they're not liars, because it's anonymous. It's the fucking internet, and they make money off of it. And that's malicious. It's malice, man. I mean, like, he's pointing it out. He's pointing out how crazy the fucking toxicity has gotten, not just with the Star Citizen community, but the entire fucking, at least, most of America has become a fucking circus, and there are malicious people on both sides, and everybody's getting so fucking political. I mean, you want to ask me about what the fuck side to go on? I'll tell you, get on your own side. Rome is burning right now, man. And develop a fucking government that doesn't overregulate and strangulate regulation by strangulation, or strangulation by regulation, however you want to look at it. It's the same. I'm telling you right now, like, dude, we need a reboot in our government. We kind of just need to figure out how to modernize the government. The bureaucracy and the red tape is just like, I don't care what side you're on. Nothing's getting done. Nothing's getting done with this system. This system is old. It's archaic. It needs to be updated. And it needs to be updated with our ideals intact, with the Constitution intact. But all the additional regulation that has been put on, just like, we need to get back to basics. Just back to basics and update the system and, you know, like, take away most of this fucking crazy ass regulation, man.
Don't understand the definition of the word. Todd Pappy came here on stage. What is the intent of this broadcast? This is CitizenCon. The intent of this broadcast is for them to stand up on stage and tell us their plans. Keyword plans.
Keyword plans. Thank you. God, somebody's speaking some sense. Oh my God, this is great. This is great. Oh my God, thank you, Sub. Thank you, dude.
Keyword plans for the future of the game.
Thank you.
And the reason why this is important is because we get to give our feedback.
Yes.
And they get to take that feedback. And now it's, we are building the game with them.
And it should be like constructive, not hateful and toxic. It should be constructive. Because like Jamma said earlier, and like Aether said earlier, you know, Sub alludes to this point where, like, if we continue to like be this toxic as a community, they might just shut down the transparency, man. I don't know. It's a miracle that they're being as transparent as long as they have, man. It's a miracle that without fail, they have been as transparent as possible for a game dev company that has ever name me one game dev that has ever been as consistent and as transparent. There is none. It's because their entire funding model depends upon it.
This game would not be what it is going to be without us. We're building this game almost just as much as they are. And that is the part that I love about this. You understand what I'm saying? He is standing here on stage, and his goal, his intent.
It's sad that we have to explain. It's sad that Sub and I, it's sad that it's gotten to this point that Sub and I and a few others in the Star Citizen community as creators have to spell this out. People know. People aren't stupid. See, this is the thing. The silent people are the majority. The rational people aren't fucking like, I hope, I would put my money on there's more people like Sub and I, and in the audience watching here, than there are people like Scream. But the only thing is, they're the loudest. So you start to think that the loudest are the majority. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine a world like that. Sometimes when I look around me, I believe it though. You know, and I don't want to believe it. Like, everything my eyes shows me that maybe the loudest are the majority, you know, but like something in me, like this intuition tells me that actually the silent people are the majority, and those are the ones that are in control. And like, if the silent ones start to get loud, that's when people should worry. When the silent people like Sub and I, like if you start seeing Sub and I get really fucking angry with Cloud Imperium and Star Citizen, that's when you know there's a problem. You want to know when there's a problem with Star Citizen? If you start seeing Sub and I getting upset about Star Citizen in any shape, way, or form, if you start seeing that, that's when you got to start worrying about Star Citizen. Because we are the silent majority. Not so much silent when we're talking about this, but like in general, there isn't this voice out here for Star Citizen. A lot of people call that white knight. A lot of people say, well, that's why you're a white knight, DG. No, this is just the rational fucking adults in the room. Hi, we're the rational adults sitting in the motherfucking room. That doesn't say that the sky is falling every fucking 1.5 minutes, you know? I like that. Aether says it's the emptiest vessels that make the loudest noise. I like that. I never heard that saying. That's a cool saying, man. Yeah, it's a comprehension and dysfunctional problem among the minority who are screaming, says Mad Style. I believe that. I believe that, Mad Style. You know, this is really why I respect Sub, and I've always respected Sub. And this is really nice when he comes to our stream and he basically has raids on the channel here on DG360. I'm super appreciative for Sub. This dude comes in here, he fucking sends raids over here. And I'm really a big fan of Sub, and I'm a really big fan of his fans. Like, I love Subliminal. I love all of Subliminal's fans. They seem to very, very fucking rational adults, man. Like, I just got to say this. Sub, you have done a great job building a community of fucking rational adults. It is a very rare thing to see on the internet these days. I am fucking telling you right now, I am endorsing Subliminal. Like, you go over there, subscribe to Subliminal. Great dude. Great video, great content. I can't say good enough things about this guy. He's like quality human being.
It's just to explain that you'll be able to build small bases. You'll be able to build medium, large, extra large, whatever. He goes in to say that the galaxy will have base building. I'm not denying that. That is not a lie. They never said that it wasn't going to have base building. That is the intent. His intent was to stand up here and show us that we're going to have multiple vehicles. Now, what is very important to understand is that at the time he spoke here, this was not in development. At the time that everyone bought the Galaxy, it did not say that you would get base building, and it had not even started development. They had not started development. And once they did start development, they landed on this as the way of how base building worked. This type of whatever. This, I think, is very important to understand intent. My initial thoughts of this vehicle was that it was like a fuel tanker or something like that. Now that I've seen this broadcast in full context, I now believe that this is a base building land vehicle, right? So we've seen this in CitizenCon. This is already clearly in active development. It looks functioning. Then we have this Anvil vehicle that we did not see, and the design has changed, right? I now think that this is a base building vehicle. And then we scroll up and we see the Galaxy and the Pioneer. Let me defend John Crew because no one else cares to.
I don't know about that. I personally think I disagree with him on this. I don't think that's the base builder, but you know, who knows? I mean, well, I don't think
John Crew's job right now, his first and foremost job right now, is to get out all of these, or a vehicle or ship in these classes released with or around the time we get base building in the game. Maybe the larger facilities we won't be able to build right away because we know the Pioneers are probably going to take longer. This is his priority. We saw this this vehicle here, and I think Top Happy mentioned everyone. So maybe this is something you don't have to buy. It'll just be something in game. We see this here is going to be available for sale that they're going to be working on in the next 12 months. They're working on something in this size range, the BLD, and then we have the Pioneer. Here is what I see when I read John Crew's statements, okay? After looking at all this context, the intent is he's focusing on getting these 4 vehicles out. And when he's telling you that there are no plans, he means that the galaxy is not one of these 4 vehicles. This is all they're focusing on right now. And frankly, we all know we're not going to get all of them by the time base building first hits. The Pioneer is probably going to be after the initial release of base building. John Crew doesn't sugarcoat stuff. He just tells it how it is. And I have to respect that. 100% I have to respect it. You just have to understand and just read the words. He's saying it in plain English. Now that we understand the intent, understand my frustrations, and I'm tired of all the crying. I'm tired of it. I just don't care. They
Yes! You're not gonna hate man! Yes!
And the reason why there's so much crying is because these are the people that tell you the sky is falling every second, 2 or 3 times a day. As much content as they can pump out to cry and bitch is because they're making the money off of you. And you're clicking it. And you're clicking it. You know you're clicking it.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
You're feeding into the machine. Where's that Pink Floyd song?
never said the ship was going to have it on the pledge store. They never said that they weren't going to do it. We all know that they're going to do it. He never said that they wouldn't. Don't stop calling them liars. No one did this on purpose. You're being a victim. You're seeking to be a victim, because you cannot tell me that anyone has intentionally made a false statement in regarding to this. They don't care about selling you ships. John Crew doesn't care about selling you ships. Chris Roberts does. Maybe the person that's in between John Crew and Chris Roberts does. I don't know which. I think maybe it was top.
John Crew should care about the ship. So, by the way, I will disagree with him here. I think there is some part of John Crew that realizes his job is dependent upon those ship designs, that those ships actually do sell. So just let's make that, I just want to put that out there.
Top happy at the time. Yeah, maybe they do. These developers don't. I'm sure a lot of the people who disagree with me have probably clicked off by now. Let me explain how harmful.
I agree with 98% of what Sub has said here. I agree with like 98% of what Sub has said.
This is to the game. I asked my wife. I told my wife about this. I like to keep my opinions in check by going over with her because we don't agree on everything. I told my wife, knowing what you see here, what course of action does CIG, what policy change does the CIG need to make so that this doesn't happen again? Do you want to know what she said? Okay. Completely rational for her work history and all that. Her words were, they need to have a PR person handle this conversation.
Dude. Yes.
Yes! You're not gonna hate me!
Yes. I'm telling you, so many times have they fumbled in their kind of way they go about communication. It's generally about communication. Like, here's the thing. They have communicated things not so great to the fan base, to the point where, like, look how, here's the proof of that. I know, wait a second, Nathan, just let me explain myself. Here's the proof of how they've miscommunicated. Sub and I have to spell it out. Like, Sub and I have to do videos like these that are like, this video is how long now? An hour long? Like, we have to spell out everything, and it is ridiculous. I feel like they could hire somebody to actually come in to make it streamlined in terms of taking these concepts and just streamlining it and looking at the roadmap and looking at the minutia and the details. But this is a live scripted event. So realize when John Crew did get up here and say these things, also, this is a live event. Yes, it's mostly scripted, but like there's a lot that goes into these live events. Some shit where they might get nervous, John Crew though doesn't get that nervous. John Crew's a fucking warrior. Matt South says PR person knows how to plan and say things in a straightforward way. Gator saying that the fan base is just generally stupid. Aether says, and I believe that actually, no, I do believe that the majority of the fan base of Star Citizen are very smart people. They're just quiet. Like I said earlier, a lot of the fan base is just, we're the majority. We're the silent majority. And I believe that is, but you just hear like all this crying and bitching because that's what makes the money. You know what I mean? And Aether says we want to speak to the engineers, not a PR person. Right. Listen, PR person would smooth things over in addition to what they have. But yes, of course, that doesn't mean I want to stop hearing from the engineers. I always want to hear from the devs, the engineers. I always want to hear directly from the source. Absolutely. I don't want that to ever stop. By me saying they need a PR person does not mean that they need to take out the engineering talks and the talks with the devs. Keep that shit in, but also add the PR person to add the fucking punctuation. You know what I'm saying? Spice it in with some fucking PR. Like you got to kind of smooth this out for the crybabies and the fucking people that are going to blow it up for the money. You got to, you know, because like it could be done a little bit more professionally to the point where they could put out these fires before they start. And he says, I don't want to talk to PR people. They will sugarcoat and make everything look better than reality. Right. But here's the thing. In the business world, you got to have fucking PR people to sell it to the masses. You got to have everything smoothed out. You got to take out these fires before they happen, and your revenues will get boosted. And if you do have those types of people in the business and they do know what they talk about, and it doesn't sound like a bunch of fucking sugarcoat, they actually know the business, they're passionate about it, and they fucking tell it like it is, and they smooth out these things before they happen, that's a professional PR person. Not the fucking car salesman, not the person that's putting the fucking swanky sugar all over the thing. The actual PR person that knows what the fuck's going on, that's passionate about the project and puts out the fires before they happen. A professional, a PR professional that knows every step of this, that gets into the project and puts out these fires from these fucking crybabies right from the start. And they have better sales. And if they have better sales, they got more money to work with. They got more resources. They'll get the game done in a timely manner. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. I really do. Aether says, all I'm saying is PR. Let me get down here. Sorry. All I'm saying, DG, is PR on the road to full corpo. Maybe. It depends upon the people that own the business, right? I think it primarily depends upon the CEO, and I don't think Chris would put in like one of those cheesy PR guys, but who knows? Once you start on the road, it's difficult to come back. Why do you think they still have those cringy moments at the con? Yeah, I know it could be bad. There's also a good side to it, just like everything, you know what I'm saying? So there's some good and bad with it, but like if you focus more on the good and it's not fucking cheesy in a fucking EA fucking presentation or you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, Gamescom, you know, like they want to steer away from that. I understand there's a lot of pitfalls on that road, Aether. I get it. Stunner says the PR person would do what John Crew had to do in the end. Go to all parties involved and get the complete picture to message out correctly for the first time. Plus, John won't have to waste his time doing it.
Yes, you're not gonna hate man.
Yes. Fucking exactly. That's a great example right there, Stunner. Stunner says the PR person would do what John Crew just did. Go to all parties involved and get the complete picture to message out correctly the first time, putting out the fires before they happen. Plus, John would have extra time to do what he needs to do. Totally worth the money. Totally worth the money just for that. Yep. You have to be careful who you're picking. You have to be careful.
She told me, she said, you have a sales background and you know how to talk to people. I have a knack for that. I'm good at that. You want to know who doesn't, and you want to know who shouldn't be expected to have such a knack, is a
John Crew. right.
Developer. Right?
They're developers.
Think about this for a second here and understand how unnatural Star Citizen's development is. Developer.
Yes.
You're not gonna hate man.
He is so on point, man. He is on point.
The person who chooses to do this for a living, they're wired differently than most.
Yeah, they're wired a lot differently than most people. They can talk to computers like crazy. They're PR agents for fucking computers and code like crazy. They're not great with people mostly. He is so fucking right, which is, again, another reason why you need a PR
People
guy.
are. These are engineers. These are developers. They don't have any business communicating with us. Because things like
I still think you need somebody who knows. I think his wife is right. I saw it on the end there. He says we don't need a PR person, but I disagree with that. I think his wife is actually right with this.
This will continue to happen. John Crew did not handle this correctly. He didn't handle it correctly. It's not his responsibility to handle it correctly. I just don't care. So what my wife said, they need a PR person to handle all this stuff. Okay, you as a citizen listening to this, understand, well, wait a minute, whoa, we don't want that. Because if that happened, two things off the top of my head that would disappear. Spectrum. It would just be where it would just be Reddit. It would just be where we go to bitch about things, right?
I don't think that would happen, but okay.
Also, CitizenCon, right? Why go to CitizenCon if all you're gonna do is hear from Chris Roberts? No other developers, Chris Roberts, and whatever people are like directly below him in the hierarchy. Or
yeah, no, I mean, like, you're still gonna need a CitizenCon. You're still gonna need an event to, like, you know, get people hyped to buy things. I mean, you're still gonna need this stuff. The PR person's gonna know that,
or what have you. That I would say have the responsibility of. And Todd Pappy is one of them. Todd Pappy would have been one of them. If Todd Pappy had made that statement, I would have been just as mad as everybody else. But Todd Pappy didn't make the statement. And it has nothing to do with that he's gone. And here's the kicker. If Todd Pappy had been here, he wouldn't have worded it like that. This is what we get. John Crew, if you're somehow watching this, don't change. Don't change, bro. We want you guys to communicate with us. Please don't stop. What you guys are asking them to do is to never tell us what they plan on doing. You're asking them to tell us what they've already set in stone and that they're going to do. If they correct course here and make sure things like this don't happen, then we've now lost the ability to build this game with them. It's going to be hurtful to the project. I hope you guys can see that. I hope you guys can see how harmful that it is to the project that they can't stand up here and tell us what they plan on doing. If you think that they're lying to you, that they're being deceitful, stop buying ships. Stop.
Yes, you're not gonna hate me. Yes.
This is why Subliminal sends raids over here to DG360, man. Couldn't say this to anybody. I mean, I say this shit all the time. Now, seeing Subliminal say this shit, it's just rational adult way of thinking, man. The adults are in the room right now, man. Welcome to Subliminal's channel. Welcome to DG360's channel. The adults are in the room here.
Backing the game. Why would you continue to buy ships from these people who you're saying are deceiving you, lying? If that's what you think, you're delusional. Stop buying ships. Stop backing the game. Play something else. I'm playing an open development game, and I want the developers to tell me what they're planning on doing so that we can discuss it as a community to build a better game. I am a grown adult. I am a grown man, and I look here and see, oh, man, he told me that it was going to have base building, but that's not on here. I don't know if I want to build this ship. Maybe I'll go on Spectrum and ask a developer like, hey, well, what's up with the base building? You guys said a month ago there's going to be base building, but there's no base building here. Or I would have bought it and then just be like, okay, all right, cool. Well, can we get the BLD as a loaner? Why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't they do that? I am happy that this all got reversed for everyone who bought this. Everyone who bought the ship thinking that it was going to do the base building.
Man, I really wasn't this clued into what was going on with the Galaxy. I went through the whole fucking journey with you guys. Like, I literally went through this whole journey with you guys. Craziness too, because this sums up most of the fucking angst with people that are the loudest and cry the loudest. And this really sums it all up, is just to be patient, let things play out. Don't focus so microscopically. Zoom out and breathe and look at the macro. You know, that's all you got to do. Anyway, I'm going to do, it's okay, Ember. It's nice to have you here, Ember. It's nice to see new people here, and it's nice to see that you're asking questions about Star Citizen, dude. Go check it out. I think you can get a starter package for the $50 range. So just, you know, that's what it would cost. I think it's worth it. It's something I've been following for a very long time here on DG360. And if you're going in this realizing that it might not become a reality, but that you admire the fact that there's people out there dreaming and trying to make an everything game, then, you know, pledge. If not, hey. But like I just can't endorse this, like the sky's falling Star Citizen content creator bullshit I see all the time. And I'm exactly with Sub, and I see a lot more of it because there's a lot more people in the community that want me to watch these videos. And I have said the same thing Sub has said on numerous occasions, watching videos that are like generally clickbait, taking money from your eyeballs and manipulating people off of the hater bait, man. It's crazy. It's simply a game dev company being fan funded, and they want to create a game that is going to be revolutionary. At the end of the day, that's all it is. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal.